Hello, friends. I am so happy to be here with you today. And I first of all wanted to thank everybody for coming to the Beauty Bash yesterday. That was so much fun. I just loved spending that time with you guys. And thank you. And I'm so excited for all of you who are ordering product for the first time. It's just so fun. So love this product. But I know that there are a few people that are having some questions or just wanting a little bit more information. So if you didn't see, hi Terry, thanks for being here. If you didn't see my post yesterday, hi Lacey, then I put a post yesterday asking for suggestions or things that you would like to know a little bit more about mascara. So I hope that my lighting is okay here. I've been moving around the house trying to find the best spot. But anyway, so that you can really see, so I can really address some of the issues. So, hi Michelle, thanks for being here. Part of this is for you. The first question I have, so if you're not familiar, if you're just seeing this video for the first time, I am Justine Powell, Mama, Mama.Justine, Justine. You can find me here on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on Instagram. So if you're not following my Instagram, then I'd love it if you would follow me over there too. I post sporadically, but I'm gonna try to post a little more regularly and do some giveaways over there as well that will be separate from here. So that would be really fun to have you guys over there as well. More chances to win. And then I am talking about the most amazing makeup ever, as well as the most amazing brushes that I've ever used, hands down. This is my entire makeup bag right here, and I need to bring in my old stuff. I think I still have it upstairs somewhere. I let my grandkids play with it actually, but I had bags of makeup before, and I would always be rummaging through what I wanted to wear, what I needed to use. Did you know that 40% of your time in the morning getting ready is opening and closing containers? Finding them, opening and closing. 40% of your time. That's one reason why this cuts your time down so much, because your entire makeup bag is just right here in this beautiful compact. All right, so if you have questions about that, I don't want to take any more time with that, but if you have questions about that, then just message me or comment here. I always go back. So you just joined, missed where you said we should go. Well, if you have questions at this point, things that you would like for me to address, then just go ahead and write them in the comments, and hopefully I will see them. And if not, then ask them again, okay, until I answer them. So if you have questions right now, then go ahead and post them here. All right, so the first question though that I'm going to address is best technique to cover redness and how to keep the makeup from looking cakey or not sitting on your face right. So first of all, I cannot express this enough that a little tiny bit of this makeup goes a really long way, okay? So start thin, start small, and then build up. All right, so if you have some severe redness and you are kind of a light medium tone, so for example, maybe a shade lighter than me or about my shade, you are going to use Mango, which is, let me see here, let me pull out the Mango. Okay, so this does not make sense to some people, but I promise this is what works. So Mango is right here. Let me make sure that I am just showing the right thing. Okay, so Mango right here. You are going to use a little bit of Mango or a little bit of Amber on first, and I'm going to show you. So some of these demonstrations are not what I deal with, so I'm going to show you how you would address it It may or may not work for me because I may or may not have that going on in my skin. So does that make sense to everybody? So I don't want you to be looking at this and being like, oh, that didn't really work, because it might not be something that I deal with, but it might be something that you deal with. So I'm just covering all different things that will address a problem. All right, so if you have severe rosacea, for example, you can start off, this is the 30-second hack brush, all right? So you can go into a little bit of mango right here, and I'm talking not a lot. So can you see that? Just a little dip goes a long way. And then, for example, say that I had a lot of red, I actually have more redness on this side. So you would kind of go over that, just on the areas that you need a little bit, and this neutralizes the darkness, okay? So, say I've got a lot of redness right there. This is medium, medium light. Say I have a lot of redness on my nose, so I'm gonna go over that, okay? That would neutralize your skin. Or maybe you are medium or medium light and you've got some dark circles going on. I have a little bit of darkness and redness on my lids. I put mascara on because I taught this morning, but I didn't put anything else so I could show you. Then you can take the Detail Hack brush and you can go over with Mango, depending on how dark you are, Mango, even Goddess, if you are medium, medium dark, whatever. So typically you want to neutralize that, okay? So say you have some really dark circles, you would just, again, need a little bit, and then you would go underneath those dark areas and just really neutralize that out. Okay, so say now you've done that, you will go over with your powder, okay? Mine is getting down there, which is one thing that I absolutely love. You just pop out your tin and replace the one thing that you need, one thing that is a huge for me on this. Okay, so I'm going to take my powder brush and I'm going to press that in, just pressing it. So, you know, I've got a little bit on there. You see? And then I would just kind of set that area just nice and gently. Okay, so this is just my little patch of redness right here that I've just neutralized. Okay, so now I would go back over either with the B square brush or again with a 30-second hack, and say my normal color is amber. So I'm just gonna go in, oops, let me get this off. I have a cloth, I'm just gonna kind of wipe off the excess. I didn't clean my brush, I'm just kind of wiping it off. I'm gonna dip into the amber. Again, not a lot, tiniest amount. And then I'm gonna stipple. I don't wanna wipe off what I just did, so I'm gonna stipple it, okay? So that's with that, or you can use your B squared brush, the smaller end of it, and then go in there again. You don't need a lot, just a tiny amount, and you just kind of stipple that over there, okay? So if you've got, again, rosacea, you know, whatever's going on. So we are going to use the Perfector sponge, but I'm gonna use that in just a few minutes. So you're gonna kind of go over that. Very good question. Okay, so this is, like I said, medium, maybe a shade lighter than me, going dark, depending on how severe your redness is too. I mean, I have seen some people, and I've worked on some people that it almost looks like their face is bleeding because their rosacea is so severe, or their redness is so severe. So it might take a couple of thin layers in order to build that. Thin is the key. You put too much on there, it's gonna look cakey and you're gonna see it. We want this to look natural, just like your skin, okay? So I'm gonna show you on this side, even though, I mean, I don't have a ton of redness, I have some. If you have light, like you're lighter complected, so maybe your skin coloring is white peach, even linen, moonlit, just you're a little more fair. You've been blessed with that fair beauty. And so I'm gonna just get all the color off of here. So in that case, and say you've got quite a bit of redness. Now yellow, yellow helps with redness. So if you have a lot of freckling, some things like that, and you're darker complected, you might even want wheat. That's this wheat right here. So that might be what you need in order to balance out your skin, especially if you've got like some dark circles or some things like that. But I am going to show you for those fair skin, sunlit, okay? Oh, I just hit my funny bone and it wasn't funny. Okay, so I am going to take that 30-second hack again, and I'm gonna just go right into this sunlit. Again, I just can't emphasize enough. A little bit goes such a long way. And this is going to show up on me because it's not my color, all right? But if you're fair, you've got a lot of redness. And so then, again, I'm just gonna kind of go over just on the little areas that you might have, okay? That wasn't enough. If you feel like that wasn't enough, then just get a little bit more. See, there's just so much, there's not very much at all. You can barely even tell that I did anything in my compact. And by the way, people are often wondering what the little divots of, this is actually my artist palette, so this is what I do makeovers with, and I have a little spatula so that I don't contaminate my product. So then I'll go in and disinfect them after I'm done with this. But so anyway, so you're just gonna kind of go over right here. Thank you for sharing. Yes, that reminds me, please share this out. There will be a giveaway. I'm going to be talking about a giveaway here in just a little bit. And I would just love to give as many of these away as I can. So share, share, share. So anyway, so you're going to be just stippling there. And you can see how that kind of just counteracts a little bit with that redness. Okay? So same concept that I did before. I'll set it with the powder. If I can find my powder brush. I'm going to use my own personal powder, so I'm not using my artist palette. Get a little bit there, tap it. Okay, and then going back over. In this case, I said that you're quite light, so I'm just getting this off the best I can. And then I'm going in with, let's say linen, okay? I'm just gonna go in with, I think that this is linen. Yes, it is linen. Okay, so linen is not my color, so if you saw me in person, it's gonna show up on my face. But for this example, I just wanna, again, go in and show you. So you'd kind of just stipple. This is what I mean by stippling. Okay, so if I was fair, and see how that's even too much? I even got too much on my brush, just that tiniest amount. So what happens with this makeup if you get too much on? You blend, okay? It's not the end of the world. So this is one example. This just pushes it in. So I am not pushing it into my skin. I'm just gently rolling. And so you can see that if I was more fair complected, then this would blend in with my skin and all redness is gone, okay? Again, you can do that with the B² brush as well. So just by tapping that in and then just stippling it over. Okay, so now if you have, oh, I just lost what it's called. Where you lose the pigment in your skin. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? They have, I can't think of what it's called, but anyway, there's a lot of people, I'm just gonna wipe this off so I can show you, that have like, their skin is not even, or they've lost some of the pigment in there, or or their skin, they have acne scarring or some different things like that. I'm going to show you what you can do with that as well. Sorry, I just lost my earring. Okay, so in that situation, you can do exactly the same thing that I just did, or you can get your B-squared brush and you can go into a color. So for example, say you've got some darkness going on or some some unevening in your skin. Oh, I made somebody mad, sorry. So I think that's my very first mad face I've ever had. So I'm sorry, whoever I made you mad. Okay, so anyway, you can go in with either walnut or, I'm sorry, it's not walnut. Now I got nervous because I got a mean face. Wheat or sunlit or something like that. And so you can just kind of go in with your B-squared brush and just kind of blend it out, and that just blends out the skin. Oh, it was on accident. Oh, okay, well, thank you for the benefit of the doubt, Michelle. Okay, so you can just go in. So I'm barely touching my skin. Can you see that? Barely touching it. So again, if you've just got a lot of really unevenness, you can just kind of go in and go through. Okay, so can you see how that just evened up my skin right there? And then you could set that with the powder. You can set the powder with the B-squared too and just kind of go through like this if you're setting with powder. For these particular issues that I'm talking about, I really feel like the powder brush is so good because of the way that it is shaped and built. And you just press that in and just sits right on there. And then you are ready to go back and just kind of stipple whatever color you are needing to do from there, okay? All right, so are there questions about that? So that is evening out the skin. That is, now if you are seeing cakiness on your skin, then we need to address that. This makeup should not look, you shouldn't see it sitting on your skin. That means that you're either using way too much or we've got the wrong color. So let's go back. Remember, you have 30 days to change out any colors on this. We want it to be perfection for you. I send you videos and try to help you in any way that I can to get this exactly right. Okay? If it's looking cakey, the same thing. We've got the wrong color. We need to go back, especially if there's like a lot of redness or whatever, then we want to make sure that we are neutralizing all of that, getting the right tones. So our tendency, especially with like a lot of pigment, a lot of redness, is to go darker, like I said, mango or whatever. But if you're super light complected, then I'm working with somebody right now that it hit me that I think that we needed to go more of the sunlit wheat. So if you are lighter complected and have got a lot of redness, that's what I'm going with. Sunlit wheat, and you just saw how it just neutralized even on me, even though it wasn't my color specifically. Questions about that? Okay. If I'm not answering, those of you who put these questions, if I'm not answering it correctly or you need a little bit more, then please keep going. Let me know, because I want to make sure that that's what this is for, is to address all of this. Okay, next question is, I have a couple of sunspots that I can't seem to hide. I have mango and white peach as my highlight. Do you think I need a darker highlight? Okay, so awesome question. I am gonna go through here and put on my highlight on one side. So this is like, you're getting ready. Oh, somebody had asked if I would show how I dip in my brush. I mean in my product, my brush and my product. So you just kind of like just tap, tap, tap. Not a lot on there. Okay, and then I just kind of go through. Usually this is enough that I kind of go through, kind of let it setting. So I'm just going to go through and do this side really quickly. I'm going to try to hurry so that I don't keep you guys for too long. So I happen to have, for some reason, I'm starting to get a few little dark spots down here, of all the places. I don't know. So I'm just kind of going through, evening out. I have a little bit of redness on my nose. Bring it up through the forehead, underneath my eyes. Okay, and so now I'm going to take my Detail Hack brush, and my best color is June. I've used Aura in the past as well, but I have a harder time getting that to blend. So for me, my color tone, June, works really, really well for me. And I always just kind of tap, get the excess off, come here, and is there a glare? I'm sorry if there is a glare. I'm still learning the lighting thing of all of this. Come down, V, come right through here. This is, same that you guys see me do a lot. Come up through here. The June really neutralizes my redness. And that's why you'll always see me come up onto the lid. Okay, and then going back over that. So already, can you see the difference between I know I tapped a little bit here, but I mean, this side is pretty leveled out, even just without doing anything else there. Okay, so now I'm going to find my brush. I'm going to go in with some Astoria right here. So I'm just kind of tapping. The contours are not, the highlights are more creamy than the contours. And so I do, kind of work my brush just a little bit, but you can see that I didn't take a whole lot off of that. But there's a reason why they are a little bit more, and I don't dig my brush in. So if you're a little more heavy-handed, you might not even do it quite that much. But there's not a ton on my brush. But the reason why the contours are not quite as creamy is so that they will stay on where they need to be, because you don't want them just to slide off. And so you come find this bone right here, and then you just push up against that. Okay, and so then that just defines that whole jawline. Oh, I just lost my questions. Okay. You can suck it in or whatever you want to do. All right, so then, and I'm doing this kind of fast because we've got others to do too. And then you can either do this with your nose or you can use your Detail Hack. Again, you come up here. All right, so you've got that done. After you've done all that, you notice, oh, I still have some spots, some acne spots, some darkness, whatever is going on there. Let me show you a little trick about that. So first of all, the question was, she uses mango and white peach, and it's still not covering the dark spots. I would imagine that mango probably covers a lot, neutralizes quite a bit. But if you have a couple of spots that are just stubborn, have a mind of their own, then let me show you what you're gonna do. I would recommend, you can try it with your mango, but if it's not covering, then I would jump down to Goddess. Okay, Goddess would be the next lower, because you want to neutralize the darkness. Then you're going to grab your multitasker right here. Okay, so pretend like I've got a big dark spot right here that just didn't want to be covered with what I did. So I used amber. So my next darkest would be to mango. Okay, if you're mango, your next darkest would be Goddess. So I'm just gonna dip this into some Goddess right here. And again, I mean, we're talking just a little bit. Make sure I don't drop this. Just tap, 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 just a little bit. And then you would just kind of come over to wherever you've got a dark spot. You're gonna see this on my face because again, it's not my color, but I just wanna show you. So you just tap right here. Okay, and this is the same that holds true with a blemish. So you're just gonna tap that little area. Then on the other side, you're gonna go to your setting powder and you're just gonna set that in there, and then you're gonna go back over it and you're gonna set it. And then it will completely disappear. It will just go right into your face. And so if it didn't quite do that, you still have another one, then you go over it one more time. And you don't have a lot of product there, so it's not like, oh man, I just have an inch of makeup on my face now. No, you don't, because you're just concentrating on the tiniest little area, and you're not going outside the line, so then all of a sudden you've got to like blend out everything. It's just over those tiny little marks and it neutralizes it, and then you set it in. Okay, same concept, like I said, with a blemish, with dark spots, scarring, anything that you've got going on your face that doesn't cover. I would say probably, oh, I don't want to give a percentage, I don't know, 80, 90% probably covers just in your makeup. This is such good coverage, and it is buildable, like I said. But if you've got something that is stubborn and it does, you know, you're like keep going over that spot, then just hit it with a multitasker. It just makes all the difference. So, and it seems like it's one more step, but it really doesn't take that much time, I promise, especially once you kind of get that down. You're just kind of going over. Questions? Does that make sense? Hopefully that answered that question for you. Okay. Covering dark under eyes and brightening. Okay, good question. So kind of talked about that just a little bit. Detail Hack brush is my most favorite brush for under the eyes. I am going to just quickly put some highlight on the other side. And then I will show you. Okay. All right, so this is just, again, my amber, my 30-second hack brush. I like to go under, this is my darker color, so I'm going right underneath my eyes. So if you have a little bit of darkness, that's what you're gonna do. So I have a sweet friend that we did her makeup, and she has so much darkness under her eyes, she almost looks like a raccoon. And so, with a dark, lots of dark around there. And so we started playing with this to see what we could do, and it was shocking how much it changed the way she looked. She almost didn't even recognize herself because she's so used to seeing those dark eyes. So getting the right combination really makes a huge difference. Okay, alrighty. Now I'm just going to turn this around, get a little bit of contouring on here. Make sure your contouring doesn't go too low. It's always a little risky for me using you guys as my mirror, but you know, you all are so sweet that I know that you'll understand if I hopefully don't look in the mirror when I get done with this and be like, oh my, okay, hello. So anyway, you get the idea, hopefully. Okay, so now I've got that base on. And if you're dealing with severe darkness like I was just talking about, then you might even start kind of working on your eyes first before you do your highlight. Okay, so just play with that a little bit. So say you're darker complected and you've got really a lot of blackness here. So you are going to, again, neutralize it. So I would go, depending on how dark you are, then you could even go down to one of these darker colors. And what you would do is you would tap just a little bit again, and you would just kind of go over, take it down, and neutralize that whole area. And what will happen is it will just kind of melt into your skin, okay? Then you take the other side of this, and you can just kind of really blend it, okay? So a lot of times when I love this for blending, it's just super light touch and just blending it out, okay? That helps with lines and wrinkles. Now, if you've got dark spots, then you're going to just, again, that stippling through there. And you may need to, oh, I forgot to talk about this with the redness. I guess I did a little bit. But after you got all those done, then you just kind of roll it over. And what that does is it melts it into a second skin. So I'm sorry, somebody asked me that even, and I even forgot to. I did a little bit, but I forgot to go over that again. Side note, okay, so back to the darkness. You're gonna come over here, and then you're gonna take this, and you're gonna roll it. Now remember, this is soft, it's not wet. So you want to roll it in a towel, roll it in a paper towel, and then you're gonna just roll it on your face. You're not pushing it, you're not squeezing it. It's just a gentle, it's almost like you're just ironing it into your skin. Okay, so then after you get that done, then you can either go with the B-squared brush or with your 30-second hack brush. And so if you have severe darkness, you might want to do that first and then put on your main highlight and kind of just stipple over that area and then bring it down. It's going to neutralize, and you're not going to have to feel like you've got to go over top of it so much. You're just kind of blending it, basically. You're just stippling it and then bringing it down, okay? And then I kind of, with neutralizing the darkness, again, June is a really good one. If you've got some darkness, some redness on your eyes, go through here, bring it down, that V, and pull it. And by getting that whole area, you're not just concentrating it right through here. It's actually a lot more pleasing to the eye, to the face, and it covers any areas there that could have some potential problems. And then I just, kind of get the excess here so you're not working with too much. And then close that eye and then come up right through here. So if you're super dark and you try to put a lighter color on it, that's when it's gonna sit on your skin. So you've got to neutralize the darkness first, and then you can stipple on your other colors that are your normal skin type. Okay, so go ahead and blend that in. And then this flat part, I just love this for blending, especially on more mature skin. Make sure you don't want it settling any wrinkles. Again, you're not taking it off, you're just sweeping it. Okay, all right, so then the other part of this was on the highlighting. I am going to show you this with the linen again. So this is how I would highlight with my June, and then I would go down the top of my nose. So I have terrible dark circles naturally. So depending on how fair are you, or what is your skin? Are you medium light, medium dark? And then you'll want to go like a shade or two darker than what your normal is. So for me, my normal is amber, unless I've been out in the sun a lot, like at the end of summer, you saw me using mango a lot, but my normal is amber. So I would probably, if I had severe dark circles, I would probably go down to Goddess. Okay, I'd probably go down 2. And if they're really severe, I might even go down to don't remember what this is. Oh, this is Goddess. So this is Goddess right here. So I would go down there just to kind of try to neutralize that. And then I would go over and just kind of blend in with my amber, okay? And then set with the powder in between. Medium complexion. Okay, so I would say, depending on what your darkness is, if you want to send me a picture, Heidi, then, if you already have another artist, then you can send your picture to them, or so like if you're working with Savannah, then you can send it with her, get some ideas, or you're welcome to send your picture to me as well. But my guess is if you're medium complexion, you probably need to go to Goddess in order to neutralize your dark circles. You're not gonna need a lot. And then set with the powder. And then if you're medium, you're probably using amber, yes? I would go 2 shades down. Let me do it that way. So if you are amber, I would go to Goddess. If you're mango, I would go to papaya. Okay, so that would be my recommendation. All right, so I am gonna go back in with linen. Linen is one of our newest colors. It is translucent enough that a lot of skin tones can use it. If I use it too much, I see it. It sits on my skin. And especially if I go outside, then it looks kind of cakey on me. I'm just gonna use a small amount though. And so that's June. June just is like low maintenance for me. So I can put it on, it's super fast, and it's not a big deal. So amber, I would have to be a little bit more careful, but I wanna show you lightning, all right, how to highlight. So again, you're gonna come right through here, underneath, and then into this V. And I don't have very much on my brush. So like, I would do this if, I would do this even for my coloring if I'm going someplace and I just really I'm tired, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, or I just really want to look bright and happy or something like that. You can use something a little bit lighter, and linen is like gold for that. So linen works on a lot of skin tones. And so, hi Darla, thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so just coming in that V again, and then bringing it up, okay? Oh, there's a nice stripe for you. All right, so now we're pulling through, so you'll really be able to see the difference because I got kind of a lot on there. Blend that out. Blending is your key, right? Clean brushes is your key. Okay, and then you can bring the thing about like linen or something that's a little bit lighter. You can actually just bring that right onto your lid and see how that kind of brightens that. So that's something that you can do. And if you're dark and you really want to lighten things up or brighten things up on your eyelid, then you can do that on here as well, and then that just gives you that pretty. Just make sure, especially if you your skin is a little more mature, that you go a little easy-handed on this, light-handed on this. Okay, and if you happen to get too much, no big deal. That's what Q-tips are for, and you just kind of go over it. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, but then that kind of gives you that lightness and brightness, but without too much. Okay, you don't want it to crease. If you get too much highlight on your lids, you're gonna crease. Hi Kelsey, welcome. All right, so then we've got that linen here, and then that just adds such beautiful brightness and wakes you up. Okay, another place to brighten, right down the top of your nose. Again, I'm getting kind of a lot of this linen. And then blend. But we have 2 sides of our brushes, so it's all good. We're just gonna blend that out right there. Okay, so what do you think? On more mature skin too, you've got to really make sure you blend this out, because putting these light, bright colors are where wrinkles love to peek out their heads. And so there's been some times, especially when I first started using this, that I didn't blend like I should, and I walked out and I like had wrinkles I didn't even know I had. So don't do that. So just blend it out. But see how just kind of going over there with this Detail Hack brush, it just made a big difference, and it just kind of makes you look lighter and brighter. All right, highlight. So again, go over here, go over here. You know, some people like to do their chin, but usually it's nose and this area over the lids. All right, questions? On to the next question. Let's see, I think it would be helpful for new friends to actually watch every dip you make into the product. We always hear less is more, but an actual visual up close may be helpful. We always hear it's cakey if you use too much, but never see how much to use. Very, very good question. So I'll make sure that I keep showing. I've been trying to kind of do that with this video, but I will continue to do that. Hooded eyes. Do a lot of videos on hooded eyes. So I will show you a little eyeshadow here in just a second. Okay, eyebrows. How do you do eyebrows? So there's a couple of different ways. Oh man, I don't have my eyebrow thing. Okay. We have an amazing eyebrow brush that's gonna just take a lot of work out of this for you. I left it in the other room, so. All right. So I'm gonna do this with a multitasker. So there's two ways you can do brows. So I'll do one on, I'll show you one way on one brow, and then I'll show you the other. So one way is to get whatever eyeshadow color. Our eyeshadows are super pigmented. They work really, really well for eyebrows. And that's honestly what I use now myself. And so just to kind of get them to where they need to be. And actually share this out. If you guys keep sharing, I'm doing a giveaway here in just a second. So share if you feel like this is helpful. So for me, I use Trust. If you're kind of more of a medium light, you might like Oak, or if you have like a sandy blonde hair color or lighter eyebrows, Oak is super good. All right, so I'm gonna take Trust, which is this brown, this deep brown right here. Let me see if I have a different eyebrow thing here, because it's really so much easier if you've got the right tools, right? That's why I'm always talking about these amazing brushes. Don't even have an old one here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this mirror because you all know that I'm old, so. Okay, well, that was attractive, pulling my skin out, but anyway, it's real life right here. Okay, so if you have an eyebrow pencil, an eyebrow brush, it's at an angle, all right? So you come up and do a little line right here, okay? And then you want to fill in the base of your brow. So with your brows, you put your brush right here and then across your pupil. That's where your natural arch should be. And then you take that and go to the outside edge of your eye, and that's where your tail should end. Okay, so that is just a good rule of thumb. Right through the pupil, that's where your natural arch should be, and then to the end of your eye, and that's where your tail should end. All right, so now you just take this and go right, I like to fill in the base of my brow, and then just take it right out there. And then I just kind of work it up. So if you don't have much of a brow line at all, and you're kind of having to start from scratch, this is a really good way to try to do that. By creating your line right here, taking it up, however big you want your brow to be, which, we just want it to be flattering for most of us. And then you just fill it in, kind of give yourself a deep base right here. Okay, and then you've got something to kind of work up with and kind of naturally make it the way you want it to be. All right, so now at the other end of our eyebrow brush, there's a spoolie. It looks like a mascara wand, and you can just go through that, and that's what makes it look really natural. Okay, so that's one way. So another way would be to take like a contour. So like Astoria is what I am using right now, Astoria. And so using that same brush, just kind of, actually I should probably wipe off the powder. Remember, powders and creams don't really get along very well, so which is why I love the double deckers. Okay, so same thing, but this time you're using a cream. So especially if you really don't have much of a brow, you may prefer a cream, because then you've got a little bit more of a strong line to work with. So you just kind of come up here and then you go underneath, same concept, and then just giving yourself kind of a base there. And then you can keep shaping it, you know, just kind of filling it in from there. But by creating a strong base like that and then working it up, it keeps it looking really natural versus just painted on. Okay, and then with this, I mean, this is, so can you see the difference there? It's really pretty. And if you don't have much eyebrows, then this is an awesome way. So you just use any of the contours. If you need some help deciding, then I would be more than happy to help you. And then again, you would turn over to the other side and then use your little spoolie, and then that would keep it looking really nice and natural. Okay, questions? Hopefully that answered your question. I forgot now who asked that, but anyway. Okay, and then just kind of fill it in however. All right, so let me see here. Oh, hooded eyes. Okay, so I wanted to show you, we talked a lot about fall blushes. Oh, and that is one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit. I'm gonna put on a little bit of blush. Let me finish my contour here. We have a really cool thing in our town called the Shakespeare Festival. I don't know if it's in every town or whatever, but we went and saw a play there. It's kind of an outdoor theater, and people come and perform, and you can bring dinner or whatever you like, and it's just so much fun. But anyway, we've got some friends that invited us tonight, so I am looking forward to going. And I can't remember now what it's called. I think it's all about the 60s, like 60s music and whatever, so that should be fun. Not Shakespeare this time, but last time we went, it was a definite Shakespeare play, but it's fun. Do you like stuff like that? I think it's fun just to get to do something once in a while. Our weather has started turning though, so I am a little bit worried about freezing to death out there, but it'll be fun. All right, so then as you know with contour, oh, I didn't dip. So let me show you, I'm just dipping. Just dip, dip, dip. So barely any on there. Coming through here and then blending out. And I didn't even re-dip my brush, blending out. So I go a little bit light-handed on the first stroke, and then I push a little bit more on the second side and just get it off. And so, I mean, there's still some on there even. Okay. All right, so there is the contouring. So now I am gonna go with one of our fall blushes. So here are all the blushes that we carry right now. You saw the demonstration that Savannah did with Scarlet yesterday. I am going to show you Sandstone today. It's just gorgeous. So, and I know, I mean, you can use either side of this. My face is a little more narrow, So I personally like to use this smaller side. Here, let me show you dipping here. So it's just dip, dip, dip. So see, there's not a whole lot on there. And so smile. And then I like to kind of come back and then kind of go through. So you can see I'm just going slightly. So you want those little apples. I have these like little dimples that I was really self-conscious about when I was younger, but somebody told me once it looked like I got kicked in the face with a horse. So, you know, people are so nice sometimes, but I'm glad you got some sandstone. You're gonna love it. But anyway, so sometimes it kind of fills in there, but so I like to kind of start out here and go through. But that we learn to embrace what we have, and that's just who I am, and have that little dimple right up there. So it's okay. That's what I'm always telling you guys, right? It's okay. And then you build. So see, I did not redip my brush. So you just kind of go through, and that was plenty. And there's still even a little bit on there. So that's what I'm talking about. A little bit goes a long way. All right, so then take your perfector. So what do you think of that sandstone color? I think it's just such a pretty fall color. It's gonna go on everybody just a little bit different. All right, so now I need to set with some powder. Hurry along, I know that this is getting a little bit long. And then I like to take the other side of this and just kind of go right underneath. And then I go on the top and then just press. So if there's any other questions, please start asking them. I know there's a little bit of a delay and I don't want to miss anybody's questions. So then I just kind of keep setting. Okay, so now we are going with Bella bronzer. Who's used Bella bronzer? Woo woo, it's awesome. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of Bella. And again, it's just kind of just a little, just barely any on there. And then just kind of go over top. It's very translucent. And then kind of go over here. Okay, I'm getting to the eyes, I promise. I just needed to get the rest of this done really fast. And so, oh, and then I need to set, with the powder bronzer, I like to set my contour. So I use the big side and then go through here. Okay. And then I'll go through with the highlight at the very end. All right, so hooded eyes. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about, we saw some eye demonstrations yesterday that were amazing. Loved them. There were a couple though, if you have hooded eyes, you want to be careful. And so I thought, oh, I'm gonna try some of these that we saw. So I put it on myself yesterday, and I have hooded eyes and a little more aged skin, and I look like I had a black eye. So that is one thing you've got to be watchful of. If you just need to make adjustments, so you just aren't going to do quite as much. So right now I'm going to use, we are out of this color, we're getting all new eyeshadows, so I understand that we don't have this, but you can also use the setting powder for what I'm doing right now. I'm going into vanilla, or to Cupcake right here. This is our our eyeshadow everything brush, everything brush. And then you're just gonna go over this. And I really like to do this just to make sure that everything's all set and that I don't get any creasing or anything throughout the day, okay? Okay, sorry, I got a phone call. And then take it right underneath here. All right, so now I like to take like a lighter color, like this on Wednesday. It has a little bit of sheen. It's really good. There's Mama. That doesn't show up a whole lot on me, but a little bit, and it's really good. You can even take like, if you want just a little more sheen, you can take like Sabrina. This one is really beautiful, Bend and Snap. Some of the ones that we have, I forgot to look today to see what colors we still have in stock, but they're only $8, so just grab something that you like. I think we have London. And so, anyway, so you just kind of go through here and then kind of go over this main lid part, okay? And this is just gonna brighten. Alrighty, so now take any darker color that you want. Let me see, I know we have Gilded, so I will try, I'll show you some Gilded. So taking a lighter color and just kind of going right through that area, and then taking a darker color, just really simple, but it gives you a really good polished look. So Gilded is a really beautiful fall color. They talked about that. It's right here. And I believe it's still in stock. Okay? So this fluffy side with the Gilded. So it's very pigmented. And then I always touch out here first, so I have a little bit more control. So there's quite a bit on my brush. So then you come through here, a little circular motion, come up on top of the bone. This is going to give you the look as if you are in the crease. Never ever go in the crease. Okay, so you just kind of go along the outside. All right, and then we're going on the other side. So this has a little bit of sheen, but it's okay out here as long as you don't go down into your lines. So that it's just this little V, C. Okay. All right, and then you can take the other side and just kind of blend it in a little bit. All right, so that gives you that appearance that you've got it deep set into your crease, but it's really on the bone, which pulls the eye out. Hi, baby girl, Savannah is here, welcome. And so, does that make sense? All right, and then again, if you need a little extra blending, then that's why we have Q-tips right here. And that's only with 2 colors, okay? So now I'm gonna give you another little trick to really bring out a deep set eye, or a hooded eye. I'm going back. You can get anything with a little shimmer. This happens to be Sabrina, Rome when they come back in. All of those are just great. All right, so you just, again, tap it just a little bit. Not a lot there. I'm gonna have to use my mirror. And then you come right here, right on this edge, and then just press it. And that is going to wake everything up, and you can kind of just go right over the center again with that little bit of sheen. And then if you want a little bit right up next to the line, a little bit there. Okay, so can you see the difference? See how much brighter, and it just pulls that eye out a little bit, or a lot. And so it gives you all those same wonderful looks that we love to watch, especially on the younger crowd, but working with what we've got here. All right, so just right here, just right along that line, that liner line, and then just kind of bringing it up just a little bit. I did not redip my brush, okay? It's just adding a little shimmer. You don't want to go over the whole thing unless you really want to emphasize your lines. And then bring it right underneath. Okay? Alrighty, what do you think? So now I'm just gonna go over, I'm gonna use this. You could use the Trust, or I'm gonna use Salem as my liner. So I did have just a little bit of liner on from before, but I'm just gonna kind of go over and just bring that right out here. And then you use your bottom lid and bring it up. And that is your guide. And that gives you that happy eye. Again, that's really important for deep set eyes or hooded eyes. You can still do liner, you just need to know how to do it. Okay, and then open up, and then you bring that right underneath here and just fade it out. So you can have that kind of a look where it just kind of pulls it, or if you want a little bit more, then you can bring it all the way in. I typically, with deep set and hooded eyes, go about 3/4 of the way and then pull it out to give yourself a bigger, wider, brighter eye. Okay? Alrighty, so now we're just gonna come on this other side. And then bring that right out. And then come here. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And then pull it right out to meet that. So as you see what I did, I used my bottom, the bottom part of my lid to just bring it up however far you want that. And then that gives you that happy eye. And then I'm just bringing it, just connecting the dots. And this is all with our eyeshadow Salem, which I believe is still in stock. Okay? If you want a little more dramatic or want it to last a little longer, you can also spray your brush with Stay Spray, and then that will create a little bit more of a dramatic look. And just so that I'm even, I'm just gonna put a little bit right underneath here. Okay, so now what I use 3 colors to get kind of that whole look, and it looks like you used a whole lot more. You can also use your Sabrina or Illuminator or whatever. Actually, let's do it with Illuminator. Why not? Let's just do Illuminator. Okay, so now I have some mascara on already, but I'm just gonna touch up a little bit. Okay. All right, so we just have some illuminator and some lips. If there's any other questions that I missed, I'd love to answer them. This is our troubleshooting day. So for illuminator, I'm going to use Dream right here because I love it. It is a dream. So I like to just use my hand, and then I'm just coming right out here. So just kind of bringing it right through here. Okay, we just talked illuminators last week. All right, and so then again, you can just come right up through here. And then that adds just a little bit more lightness and brightness. If you're, you know, if you're a little bit younger, or if you want, whatever you want to do, you can put it through here or through here, whatever. Like I talked about last week, I don't really do that personally because I don't want to emphasize any lines or wrinkles through here. This is my area that I'm more self-conscious about. So I definitely don't want to add that. But if you don't have that problem, then go for it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go over one more time. Set my powder, so I like to go over the very end and just make sure I didn't miss anything. Just rub it all out. So we've blended. If you're seeing a spot that's kind of, you know, not quite right, just kind of blend that in until it's a second skin. All right. So one thing that's been kind of fun is to use your contour. Let me see what your question is. Your whole question isn't coming through, Hope, so I'm not seeing it all. What can I use for bottom lashes? My eyes are so hooded that mascara on the bottom makes them more, and I'm not seeing the rest of that comment. So I'm just gonna go through this really fast in the meantime. Make sure that I don't have black on there. This is Astoria, kind of going through. And this is really fun for fall as well. Okay, and now I am gonna go through. I used sandstone. So I'm just gonna show you what sandstone looks like on the lips too. I just kind of just barely press it. I mean, I still have so much on there. Okay, and then this is a color called Petal. It has a shimmer, but look what happens with this. I'm just gonna put this on. Just right there in the center. And it just kind of highlights it all. So it's just a really pretty fall color. If you want a little bit more, like if you want like your lips plumped or whatever, then you can also go over that with an illuminator. So so let's do a little bit of honey on here. And see how that just kind of brings that to life as well. Okay, what do you think? You like that? All right, so mascara on the bottom lashes is really, I am a bottom lash mascara person. A lot of people don't even put mascara on the bottom. So if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. If you feel like it's making your lashes even more, if you feel like it's making your eyes even more deep set, then I would try it without and see if you like that. You could even just put a little bit of liner or a little bit of eyeshadow, just a small amount. I wouldn't do like a stark line, but you could even just do a little bit of a nice blended eyeshadow look, and then just skip the mascara on the bottom, or even take a selfie and see if you like that look. The other thing you can do is just do it really light on the bottom, so then you have at least a little bit, but they're not so defined that it's really emphasizing that area. So does anybody else have any ideas or suggestions about that? That's what I would say, is just kind of play with it. I have a favorite mascara, bottom lash mascara, but I understand they're discontinuing it. So that's kind of a bummer. But Clinique had a bottom lash mascara that I absolutely loved. And actually I stocked up on it, so I still have a few, but it's just the tiniest little wand. It's perfect for bottom lashes. So then sometimes, you know, good lashes kind of open and brighten your eyes. So All right. Perfect. All right. So yeah, so don't be afraid to not put mascara on the bottom. All right, are there any other questions? Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know that this went a little bit long. I wanted to make sure that we talked about all of the things though, and all of the questions that you had. Thank you for putting those questions there. If you have any other questions, then just write them down. Put them in this comment. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I'm giving away. So please share. I'm giving a perfector sponge, and I am giving makeup remover wipes away. So because most of the problem that people have is they don't blend. So I want to make sure that you are able to blend, okay? And then I'm also giving away these makeup remover wipes. So they are so good, and they really calm the skin. So if you have a lot of redness, all of those kinds of things, then our skincare is really awesome for that. And so anyway, so that's why I'm giving that. So welcome, Heather and Kristen. Thanks for being here. You can watch the replay, Heather. It's all good. So share. I'd like to see how many shares we can get. If I can get to 20, if we can get to 25 or more than 25, I'll give this to 2 people. So, okay, so I'll give 2 of them away. If we can get, for every 25 shares we get, I'll give a set of these away to somebody. So please share out, and this is what I'm giving away today. All right, so if you're just coming in, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. Okay, let's see. You want to order some things, message me, Darla. I can't see the rest of your message, so I'm going to have to go back and look at that. If you need ideas, suggestions, if you'd like to be color matched, message me, and I will get right back to you as soon as I possibly can. I can suggest the perfect colors for you, and if they're not perfect, we keep working on it until it is. So, all right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me for the last 2 days. So much fun. And thanks for those of you who were at the Beauty Bash yesterday. It was a great time, and you guys are just amazing. So love you, and have a terrific weekend. Bye.